We often talk about empowering people and how we want to create empowering cultures. And
yes,
this is, as leaders, it's one of our biggest core values and our roles in life. It's our assignment is to empower people. Give us some examples of what unhealthy, ineffective empowerment looks like.
All right. Well, empowerment's the buzzword, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you sound amazing as a leader. If I go, I'm empowering people.
Absolutely.
Gosh, it makes you sound much better than you probably are, to be honest. And we've all been there and done that. What is ineffective, bad empowerment? Well, let me just say, if you're empowering for your benefit, not somebody else's, you're ineffective. And I watch a lot of leaders empower people for their own benefit, not for the benefit of those they empower. You're ineffective. If you're empowering with zero development, you're ineffective. We talk about, we talk a lot about my kids, and, I always tell stories about teaching them how to drive. I'm like, yeah, if I just throw someone the keys to the car and be like, my daughter just got her license. Whoa, bless me. Like she actually is a great driver, and, as good as you can be for being a, first-time driver. But she's pretty good because she drove with her mom a bunch. And then we paid some, this young guy to come by the house, and he has the car that takes you around, and, yeah, that's why she's good. But, if she turns, however old you are, 15, and goes, I got my permit, and I hand her the keys and go, bye, I can actually say I'm an empowering father. I gave her the keys to the car. I empowered her to drive. Well, great. I also probably created a crash and caused collisions and created a daughter who's now scared. And I did a lot of things I wasn't trying to accomplish, but you know what? I can stand at the front of a podium and go, hey, I'm empowering. Well, whoop-de-doo, who cares? You didn't do anything. You know what I mean? It's not hard to be empowering. Empowering is easy. It's simple, unless you're controlling. Then it's not so easy.
Right.
But if you have an ability to a little bit let go, and empowering actually isn't that hard. It's right next to delegation. Empowering and delegation sit right next to each other. So just because you're empowering means, again, I wouldn't say it means nothing to me. I want people who are empowering. I want to have leaders who empower other people. But just because you do that doesn't, I got so many other questions for you.
Yeah. If
you go, I'm an empowering leader, I want to talk to the people you empower and find out how you do it, why you do it, what your process is. Is it for them? Are they growing? What's actually happening? And then I'll find out what kind of leader you are. Yeah. But telling me you're an empowering leader doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah. Talk about the difference. You talked about empowering and delegation, and authority also comes into that.
Yeah.
Authority and responsibility. What does it look like in an effective way where those four things are working well together and it's true empowerment?
Yeah, well, let me just say, I think it's really, as leaders, it's easier to give away responsibility than it is to give away authority.
Yes.
That being said, they're both easy to give away. One's easier to give and kind of take back. Once you give away authority, taking that back is challenging. It's really hard. So we always tell people, give away lots of responsibility, up the responsibility level before we give away any authority. Delegation and empowerment, I say, sit next to each other because delegation is typically for you. It's I need to delegate the things, my tasks, my stuff. And so empowerment should be for other people. So that's where the differences, I think, come in for me is how am I doing what I'm doing? They can actually both look the same on the outside, So I have people that say they're empowering, and I just go, no, you're a great delegator. You're not empowering, but you're a great delegator. And that's wonderful for you. It's helping nobody on your team. So when I look for empowering people, I look for people that, if I can use an analogy, they're handing away the keys to the car for sure, but they're also in the car with them. They're giving driving lessons. They're helping out. They're trying to figure out, hey, what do you need to be successful? What can I do? They're communicating really well. The responsibility piece of what it means to take the keys, before we're handing out authority. So, my goal is to get my daughter to a spot where she doesn't have to ask me to take the car. And she has a car, and that's the goal. Yeah. But she's not there yet. Yeah. So while she can drive, now she can drive on her own. But she can't take the car without asking. I'll kill her. You know what I mean? Like, that won't work. You know, so it's the process, I think, of empowerment that should lead to a higher level of responsibility, which ultimately leads to authority. And that's kind of the trajectory that we have our people on, you know, as best we can.